Hello everyone, this is Chris with Peace of Mind, and today I'm going to work a little bit on one of the pouches, one of the slow stitch pouches. This one that I'm working on is sort of mostly neutral colors, but then you know, some greenery and so on, flowers mixed in a little bit. This is the front of it and the flap, and this is the front side. I'm going to add some lace here, I think. And this is the back. Has a piece of embroidered dresser scarf that I took this from, an antique piece. And then I made these flowers. I think we did these together on another video. We did these, how to do these flowers. But they're simply cut out of pieces of fabric and then layered on top of each other, and I'll probably sew them down with a button or a bead or something. So let's see, I was working on, the last thing I was working on was the flap, and I was making some, I was going to make some French knots in here for the flowers. So why don't I do that? I don't want to use too bright of colors. I was thinking maybe this lavender would be nice, so let's try that. And I'm working on top of this felt pad that I recently purchased. I really like it. It's about, I don't know how thick it is. What is that? 3/4 of an inch thick, maybe? An inch thick. And I got it off Amazon. It is one that's made in the USA. It's just called a felt pad. It's for, actually, I think they use it more for the, making the little animals out of wool. You know, where they stick the wool and they make, I can't think of right now what it's called. I know I will by the end of the video. But that's what they mainly use it for. But then I've seen different other slow stitchers use it for their work. And the beauty of it is you can stick your pins as you're using them. You can stick them in there, and that way you can find them, and they're not rolling all over everywhere, and so on and so forth. So let's get some thread going here. I am going to use 6 strands on this. I hope you all are doing well. It's been pretty hot summer here, as everywhere, I think, pretty much. I'm in Colorado. I haven't done a video in a while. I think it's just because it hasn't been because I haven't been working, but because I've been making lots of things. I just really hadn't found anything, you know, new to show you guys as far as slow stitch or journals. I've been working on some paintings. As you know, I am a mixed media artist, and I do paintings using paper and fabric and so on. And I recently, let me go through one of these slow stitched French knots to show you before I get too carried away with talking here. Do is you come up where you want the little knot or the flower with your thread and pull it all the way up, and then anchor it down with your non-prominent hand, and then with your prominent hand, which mine is my right, of course. Then you wrap it around. I usually go around about 3 times with the 6-strand thread, maybe 4 times with the 3-strand thread. And then you put it down in there. Now you can hold this down with your thumb a little bit. Just go real slow through there so you don't tie up your knot. And then for the very last, you want to put your thumbnail down there and just kind of pull it taut. I'll move it up here slowly so hopefully you won't get dizzy, and show you. So then you come up to the next spot that you want the flower. Just straight up. Put it down. Hook it around one. You're wrapping it around away from you. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going down in a spot real close to where you came up. Then you're going to hold it down with your thumb and pull it through. And then when it's all the way down there, you can kind of move it out of the way a little bit and finish it off. This is the easiest way I have found to do this, and this making French knots is not easy at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's kind of like riding a bicycle. You know, you have to do it a number of times and a number of days in a row, and then once you know how to do it, then it goes a lot smoother. And they do make really pretty little flowers on there. What I was going to say about the paintings is that I've been doing some paintings. I've been using the method that I've seen a lot of people use. I'm a collage artist, so I like making my own papers. And I've seen this, it's been around for, I don't know, maybe 10 years, where you take pages from a National Geographic magazine and you coat them with a solvent. It's actually a cleaner. It's called Citrusol. And they have found, and I think that to be the case also, that is probably the best thing to use. And what you do is you dissolve down the pages of the magazine so that the colors blend together, and you get some really cool looks from it. I'll show you here in a second. Finish that. For those of you that do the mixed media journaling and so on, you can use this paper in your collaging. Isn't that cool? That's just a part of a page. That's kind of the way it comes out. And you can use it without infringing upon copyright, because you can't really tell once you're finished with it. You can't really tell what the original photograph was anyway. So they're pretty. You just got all kinds of colors. This is the opposite page, and you can still see you still have some of the printing on there. This was once a person, I think. But there's a certain kind of ink that National Geographic uses on their pages, and you have to use a National Geographic that's like older than 1986, I think. So you could use a more recent one. Let me show you the paintings that I did. Using primarily the National Geographic pages. This is one of a Colorado mountain scene with a deer, and use the pages. I cut them out. I did them like I usually do my landscapes my paintings when I make them out of paper and fabric. Except I used the National Geographic melted down pages. This is actually a piece of fabric of a deer that I incorporated into there. But depending upon the colors that you get when you melt down the pages with the solvent, you get different effects, but you get a lot of muted colors. Okay, here's another one. This one is of a lake cottage. And I just used the technique where you do the collage with medium, like a Liquitex medium, or Mod Podge. You can use Mod Podge as well. Liquitex medium tends to be a little bit thicker, and so you probably want to spread it pretty thin when you put on your paper so that you get it nice and flat. I do have several videos on my channel that show you how to do the collage on canvas using papers and fabric. So if you want to refer back to those. And another channel you might want to go to if you want to see the National Geographic pages melted down process is Froyle Davies. It's Froyle Davies is her name. She's from Australia. She's a funny lady. But she does give really, really good videos on how to do collage. So there, I'll show you what I've been doing lately, what I've been into. I still do this slow stitch, but just not quite as much. I am going to come out with a new kit, a new slow stitch kit soon. It's going to be called On the Farm, and so far the ones, this one will have a pattern as well. So far the ones that have the pattern are the beach house, the English cottage, and the mountain cabin. So those are the three that have patterns, and this one will also have a pattern. It's going to be called On the Farm. So it's going to be a farmhouse and a barn and so on. So I'll be coming out with that one soon. And I will do a video on that one as well. 3 times around. And you can try some that are maybe 4 times around, and that way you can have some flowers that stick up a little bit more. If you do get caught up, first of all, go really, really slow when you're pulling it through. And if you do get caught up, just kind of stop and don't try to yank it through, because it won't, it'll get tangled all, it'll really be a mess and be hard to take out. So if you just stop where you're at and then try to do it, then you'll have a lot better luck getting your tangle out. And you just keep going, putting your flowers in there. I wonder if you guys have been on some vacations this summer. This is July 4th weekend, Saturday of the July 4th weekend. It's been really busy here where I live. We didn't go anywhere. We're retired, or my husband's retired. I'm kind of semi-working still. With my Etsy shop. And I do some art shows and so on. But anyway, since we're retired, we can travel other times than what people who, work full-time jobs, have children maybe, can't take the same kind of time off for that weekend to go somewhere. So we tend to plan our trips around that during the off season as much as possible, because of course it's less money and so on. Maybe get a few more out of this thread. This does use up a lot of thread quicker than, say, like a running stitch, because you're using a lot to wrap around and make the flower. I think I'll do one more. That'll come out here. Is that on the, yeah. Up here. This probably should have stopped, because I don't know if this is going to go around. Maybe just twice. See how I'm pulling this back so that it doesn't come out before I get to the back. And which one I can pull through here? There we go. And then I can anchor it down into some of these other stitches. And this will all be covered with a lining, so that'll help secure it down so it's not going anywhere. There. And I'll do some more on there to finish it off. Kind of looks like little sprigs of lavender, maybe. Okay, then for here, first I was gonna do this bow, and I'm still not sure about it. Let me see. You guys tell me what you think. I don't think I can hear you, but the reason I put it down there is so that it wouldn't be in the way of the flap closing. Or I could, when I'm finished, I could put it here. I'm gonna wait and see, because I think I might like it there. Okay, so I still need to sew down this part, and this little lace doily. This is an antique lace doily that I found at a flea market somewhere. Here, it was here in Colorado. You'll be surprised what you can find at flea markets. And you know how they have those antique stores that have the different things in them. I don't want to cover up too much of this fabric because I like it, so I might just do around the rows. So let's see what I got here. Just kind of cut this rose motif out. And I'm still leaving a little bit on the outside. I think I like it there. And I'll pin it. I either usually pin it or use a little bit of a glue stick on it. Just use your regular, what did I do with my glue stick? Here it is. Just use regular glue stick like this and just put a tiny bit on the back of, like say if I wanted to put this down, just put a tiny bit on the back like that, and then it tacks it down so you don't have to use pins everywhere. It doesn't work quite as well on the lace. That's why I have the pins in the lace. Okay, let's see where we're at on here. What I'll probably do on here is I've started like a little bit of a seed stitch here, so I might continue that down a bit, or maybe I'll continue it up a bit in through here with a seed stitch, and then like I said, I'll probably sew around here with a slow stitch like I sewed around this square here. I'll sew around the flowers, and then the last thing I'll do is put a button there, and that'll get the center part down. This is a button, but it's a pin that's a button. Okay, yeah, what I forgot to do was look and see how this rose looks when the flap is down. I could move it a bit. Yeah, I like it down further a bit. So that it isn't, so that the whole rose shows when the flap's closed. That looks nice. And I'll probably stitch this down with a tan color maybe. Okay, thanks for joining me today. I hope that you're having fun with your slow stitch or whatever else you're doing, journaling, doing some painting. If you look on my channel, you'll find kind of all of those things, card making and some slow stitch kits. I hope you go over to my Etsy shop, and you can get over there by clicking on the place where it says my Etsy shop right above or right below the title for my channel, and you can see all the goodies that I have over there. I thank those of you that have gone over there and purchased from me, as well as I thank all of my subscribers to this channel. I'd appreciate it also if you hit the like button. Bye now. Happy summer.